My name's Martian TF2 and welcome back to another video. And if you read the title, which most likely you did, you know today I am starting a new series because so far I really only have the top hat series, but I want to try something new and different. So this is basically where I'm going to show a bunch of cosmetic sets in TF2. So that means three cosmetics. And, well, I'm just going to be showing off some cosmetic sets you can make in TF2. And let's go over the rules before we get into the episode. And we're starting off with medic because I don't know if I'm going to continue this, but we're just going to start off with medic, my favorite class. So the rules are all winter and Halloween sets will be under their respective sections. All sets have to be usable by the medic. But they all have to be usable by the medic and just the medic, or another class, but not all class. And all the cosmetic sets are going to be themed, so they aren't going to be random. Each one is going to be based off a theme. So if that gotten out of the way, let's get into the first set. So our first set here is the detective medic, and this is a mix of Victorian and modern day detectives, and it fits really well with the medic's character. So first off, we've got the private eye, which is a Victorian medicat, mostly based off of Sherlock Holmes, and it combos great with the pipe and shaded in glasses of the 9-pipe problem, the next cosmetic. And these two create the Victorian detective look, and the coat, the medical mystery, is based off of modern day police force detectives. It is a pretty good coat, and they're basically two different themes of detectives, and it also fits the medic really well. And this set comes in at 3.88 ref, with the private eye being 1.11 to 1.22 ref, the 9-pipe problem being 1.33 ref, and the medical mystery being 1.33 to 1.44 ref. And this is a really good, nice, This is a really nice themed cosmetic set for the medic that comes in at a very small price. Next up, we have the Crusader medic set, and this is a medic set based off of medieval knights, and it looks pretty good. And the main part is the hat, the Berliner's bucket helm, and it's a nice bucket knight style hat with a back cover and a red visor coming over. To really give it the Crusader look, it's got a sideways cross going down through the middle for the medic to see through. And for the armor, we've got the Das Metal meat encasing, and I really don't like this cosmetic because it's not very good looking. But if you're going to have a knight, you're going to need armor, and this is the best armor, armor for medic that works in medieval settings. And last off, we've got Archimedes, because back in medieval times till probably a century ago, maybe a little more, probably a little more, but in ancient and medieval times, doves were used as messengers in war and just anything that needed messages to be carried across. So it makes sense that the dove would be going to the night. And this set comes in at a pretty cheap 5.61 ref, with the Berliner's bucket helm at 1.22 to 1.33 ref, the Das Metal meat encasing at the same price, and the Archimedes at 3 to 3.11 ref. And this is a little more than the Detective, but still a very cheap, good-looking cosmetic set. And this one is just good for medieval times. So let's move on. Next up, we have the Soviet Doctor set. And this is a Russian set for the medic. And first thing, the mustache here is not the actual mustache used in the set, because I couldn't find one on the SFM workshop, and it doesn't come with it. So I just had to go with this. So I just realized I could have just used the heavy version, but okay, it's the wrong mustache, but they're very similar. Just imagine the dictator mustache if you know what it looks like. But let's get into this. First off, we have the Gentleman's Ushanka, which is a Russian Ushanka hat, which basically just has the medic's logo on it. And I personally prefer this one over the officer's Ushanka because the style of Ushanka looks better, even though I don't like the medic logo that much. But I still really, really like this hat, and it goes great with this theme. And then the Dictator is a great mustache that goes with the theme, and the Heat of Winter is a good coat that fits the winter style of Russia, even though it does clip a lot, as you can see in the render. But this set is a very good themed one, and especially if you have a heavy friend that you want to pocket. And this is our most expensive set yet, coming in at 12.71 ref, with the Gentleman's Ushanka being 1.22 to 1.33 ref, the Dictator being 2.88 to 3 ref, and the Heat of Winter being 8.44 to 8.55 ref. You could probably replace the coat with something like the Der Winter mantle, but I personally like this the best. So let's get into the next set. Our next set is going to be the Battle Medic set, and I apologize for the Mechamedes texture being off. It's usually supposed to be white instead of black, but it's problems with Source Filmmaker. But this set is not my favorite because two of the cosmetics I really don't like that much. But I see why this could be good for some people. And it consists of the Das Nagenwacher, which is a helmet for medic, but I personally don't like it since it just seems too big and bulky, and I prefer the other helmets, but it goes with this theme. The Das Metal meat encasing, which is some armor for the medic, which I don't really like for the same reason as the Das Nagenwacher, but it's good for the set. And the Mechamedes, which I really like, which is just Archimedes, but a robot. And this one is basically just the medic, but reinforced with armor, and Archimedes is too. And this set is, I just don't like it, but I get why some people would. So it's worth 7.32 ref, with the Mechamedes coming at 4.66 to 4.88 ref, the Das Metal meat encasing coming in at 1.22 to 1.33 ref, and the Das Nagenwacher coming in at 1.22 to 1.33 ref. So this one's okay, but let's move on to the next one. Before we get into our next set, I would like to apologize for the beard being black. It is supposed to be white. It should only look like that if you're painting it, but it should look white. I'm sorry, it's just Source Filmmaker, SFM. It doesn't work very well, but this next set is the Priest. So this one works really good with Medic's character because it's like a healer, and there's some really good themed cosmetics for it. First off, we have the Nun Hood, which is one of my favorite cosmetics because it's just a simple hood and it works great in so many ways. But I know a lot of people like it because there's stereotypes around it. And then we've got the Ruffled Rubricanate, which is the Ruffled Ruprecht. Yeah, the Ruffled Ruprecht. It's basically just a big white beard for Medic, and it goes good with the color. And we have the Angel Death, which is a priest's robe for Medic. You could probably use the Exorciser, but I personally prefer this one. And this set will come in at 10.16 ref, with the Ruffled Ruprecht coming in at 1.66 to 1.77 ref, the Nun Hood at 5 to 5.11 ref, and the Angel of Death coming in at 3.33 to 3.44 ref. With that all being said, let's move on to the next set. Our next set is the Field Medic, which is based off a medic that would be going to the front lines or through rough terrain such as a forest, jungle, desert area, winter area, tundra, just the rainforest, any place that's not just the normal map. So this consists of the Battle Boonie, which is just a boonie hat for Medic that you can see in the render there, or alternatively you could use the Field Practice, which is like a different colored Bill's hat with the Medic logo on it, and it's also got a headset going around it, which you could also use as the hat. And then you've got the Vitals Vest, which is just a vest with 2 pockets and some syringes and some medicine in it. And the Surgical Survivalist, which are some camo pants with some knee guards, some team color knee guards around it. And this set will come in at 10.88 ref, with the Battle Boonie, which is 2.66 to 2.88 ref. The Vitals Vest is 4 to 5 ref, and the Surgical Survivalist is 3.33 to 3.88 ref. Alternatively, you could get 11.71 ref and use the Field Practice, which is 3.55 to 3.66 ref. And this one is great with the jungle update, which most of it came out with, but let's move on to the next set. Next up, we have the Surgeon set for Medic, and I'm sorry for the render. It's really hard to pose the sidearms because it rotates and moves at such a weird pivot point, and it's transparent, and you also can't move the scissors without also moving the arm thing. It's just really weird, so I'm sorry for that. And this set is not my favorite because I just really don't like the hat and mask. I just don't think they look good. The mask would look good without the logo, and I just don't like the hat, but it's really good for the Medic's character because this is a doctor set for the Medic, which is the doctor class, surgeon set. So let's get into the items. We have the otolaryngologist's mirror, which is the mirror that doctors used. I forget what it's used for, but doctors used it for something. back in the day. They might still use it sometimes, but I forget what it's used for. The physician's procedure mask, which is a surgeon's mask that goes around the medic's face so he doesn't get any diseases or biohazards in his mouth or catch any diseases. And we have the surgeon's sidearms, which go around his hand and in his pocket, which are just tools used for surgery. And I personally really like the sidearms, but the other two I'm not a big fan of. The mask would look so great if there's just an alternative style that was clean. But yeah, but this is just such a great themed set for the medic. It comes on in at only 5.88 ref with the mirror at 1.22 to 1.33 ref, the mask at 1.55 to 1.66 ref, and the sidearms at 3 ref. Exactly 3 ref. Dang. And yeah, this is just a great themed set for the medic, and let's go to the next one. Next up, we have the Mecha Medic set, and I apologize for the bad Mechamedes SFM render, but it actually looks pretty good with this one. I kind of wish that you could do this for this set. But this is kind of a robotic plague doctor set for the medic, which I think is really good looking, and you really avoid all the stereotypes of Blighted Beak Grimhat because they're robo-cosmetics. So you've got the Mechamedes, which is a robot version of the dove Archimedes that sits on the medic's shoulder. You have the Bited Beak, which is a robotic plague doctor's mask, and the Virus Doctor, which is a robotic Amish hat with a orange cord wrapped around it. And this set is our most expensive yet, which comes in at 33.32 ref, with the Mechamedes being 4.66 to 4.88 ref, the Bited Beak coming in at 23.77 to 24 ref, which is really expensive. I think it's really up in price right now. If I had because I remember buying this for 20 cents, but it's almost $1 now. And the Virus Doctor is 4.66 ref. And I personally really like this set, so that's good, but let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have the Cyborg. Sorry in advance for the bad model placement. It's really hard to do this in SFM. I don't want to spend too much time on one of them, but it's not too bad. Just, you can see it, get over it. But this is a really good set because it's got the Berlin Brain Bowl, which covers most of the medic's face, but then the Colossal Cranium will finish up and completely cover the face of the medic except for a few little things in between the eyes and at the ends. And then the Ballistic Vest is a really nice complement to that. And this is just a great set, and I love the combo between the Colossal Cranium and the Berlin Brain Bowl. And the Bunny Hopper's Ballistic Vest is just such a good complement to it. And I honestly just love this set, but I do know a lot of people use it because it just looks so good. And yeah, the Brain Bowl is the mask and helmet, the Colossal Cranium is the goggles, and it will also remove the medic's hair and make his head bigger if you don't have a hat with it. And we also have the Ballistic Vest, which is the arm straps and aren't placed well, and the gray vest. And this is worth 16.15 ref, with the Colossal Cranium being 2.77 ref, the Berlin Brain Bowl being 6.66 to 6.88 ref, and the Bunny Hopper's Ballistic Vest coming in at 6.55 to 6.66 ref. So now that we've gotten this out of the way, let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have the German General, which is a great one for medic since the medic is German and that's a big part of his character. And I personally really like this set with the character, but it's not the best looking, but I still like it. And we've got a brush with death, which is a good beard and mustache for medic with a scar across the one eye of the medic, but that's covered up by the combat medic's crusher cap, which is a lopsided war general hat with the TF2 logo. And this hat is really good for the theme of the general, and I think it's good, but I think it would be better if it was placed on the head right. And you can also replace this one with the team captain, but that would make it more expensive, I think. And we've also got the Das Fancy Pantsen, which is the coat for medic, and boy do I adore this coat. It just looks so good and fits the medic's theme so great. But that's for the next episode in the Top Hat series. But yeah, this is really good themed, and it comes in at 6.66 ref, with a brush with death coming in at 3.55 to 3.77 ref, the combat medic's crusher cap coming in at 1.44 to 2 ref, and the Das Fancy Pantsen coming in at 1.22 to 1.33 ref. And let's move on to the next cosmetic set. Next up, we have the Colonial Medic set, and this is a nice themed cosmetic set because there's a lot of cosmetics which go good with this theme, and it just goes good with a lot of other cosmetic sets for other classes. And let's get into this. First, we have the Powdered Practitioner, which is just a Revolutionary War hat with a wig that they also used at that times. It's the hat. You can get rid of the hat, but I think it looks a lot better with the hat. You have the Colonel's coat, which kind of has a fancy dress uniform top, furs on the shoulders with a turtleneck, and it also replaces the front of the medic's coat with a yellow kind of separation from the rest of the coat, and some buckles and 2 medals. And we've also got Archimedes, because even more than a medieval knight, a war general from a long time ago would be receiving messages from a dove. So Archimedes goes really good here. And I just like this one. I'm not a big fan of the hat just because of its look, but I like this set. And it comes in at 8.27 ref, with the Powdered Practitioner being 1.22 to 1.33 ref, the Colonel's coat being 3.88 to 4 ref, and the Archimedes being 3 to 3.11 ref. And this is a good set, but let's move on to the next one. Next up, our last for the non-holiday cosmetic sets, we have the Insane Doctor, and I'm sorry for the wards, buckles, and everything being messed up. It's just, SFM is hard, so let's get into this. First, we have the Gauzed Gaze, which is the mask, goggles, and hat, which fits the theme real nicely because it kind of covers the medic's whole face, making him kind of mysterious and seemingly mad. Then we have the Ward, which fits the Mad Doctor greatly because it's a straitjacket. You would put that on someone who's messed up in the head. And then we have Archimedes, because someone who's mad and doesn't see humans would try to make friends with an animal, and I see why you would do that. I love animals, so that's why I put Archimedes here. And it's great for the medic because they're a mad doctor. The cosmetics just look great on it, and the medic's already kind of mad in the head if you know their character, so this cosmetic set just goes great on them. And it comes in at 10.16 ref, with the Ward being 1.66 to 2 ref, the Archimedes being 3 to 3.11 ref, and the Gauzed Gaze being 5.22 to 5.33 ref. and I really like this set, but let's move on to the Halloween sets. It's Halloween, the spookiest time of year for your wallet, because this has jumped up to be our most expensive set from around $2 to $3 to $10. So, I don't remember this being as expensive as it is, but it must have gone up in price. So let's get into this set. The cleric set is a cleric, which is really good for medic, because a cleric is like an angel, someone who heals, and the medic is a healer, and it just goes great with the theme. So first we got the Templar Spirit, which it's just an amazing cosmetic. It's just so good. It's a hood for the medic, except it completely covers up the face with a black void with 2 yellow eyes, and it's got robes with a cross emblem holding it together. And then the wings of purity are cartoonish looking angel wings that come out the back, but they still look good. And then we have Archimedes the Undying, which is Archimedes, the medic's pet, except it's a zombie. It's like the cleric brought it back to life, and it just is so good. But this set comes in at 4.1 keys, or exactly $10, with the Templar Spirit being 1.25 keys, the Wings of Purity being 2 keys, and the Archimedes the Undying being 32 ref. And this is a really great set, and I think that even if you aren't going to complete it, the 1.25 keys for the Templar Spirit is definitely worth it. So let's move on to the next Halloween cosmetic set. If you thought the cleric was bad, this set's even worse for the wallet, but it just looks so good. We have the Wolfman set. This set just, and I'm sorry for the clipping in the SFM render, it's just SFM, but it's not like that normally in the game, I don't think. But this set's just so good. It looks great. Like, everything about it looks great, and it looks so good because it's like a failed experiment with a wolf and a medic, and it's got a wolf's head and the wolf's heart being fused onto the medic, and it just looks so good. It fits the theme because it's an experiment. The medic does experiments. You could see the medic trying to fuse a wolf's head and heart onto themselves. And the Hundkopf is the dog's head, which is just great. It's my favorite Halloween hat. But you'll see all that in the other series I have going. But this hat just looks so good. Just, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Then we have the Kriegsmaschine 9000, which I also love. It's so good. It's a robotic suit. It's the robotic arms and neck at the top of the medic. And then we have the Herzensbrecher, which is the tubes that lead up to some other capsules with some liquid, and one circular large capsule with a heart in it, which you think is the wolf's heads. And this is just such a great set, but it comes with a price at a whopping 6.75 keys, with the main source of that being the best part, the Hundkopf, at 5.8 keys. Then we have the Kriegsmaschine 9000, well, Dash 9000 at 21 to 30 ref, and the Herzensbrecher at 10 ref. So, yeah, you can really make but the Hundkopf is the best part. I think it's worth it, but it depends on how seriously you take this game and how much you play medic. But let's move on to the next set. Now, I'm just really mad about this loadout because I bought the Das Blutliebhaber at full price for $10 right before it dropped down to $2.50 for the haunted version. And I know the vestments are still at a high price, but on backpack.tf it says it's really low. But I think there's some things messed up with the hat and coat. The eye and coat, but it looks like a hat. Just bear with me. But this is the Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde loadout, and it's based on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from the book. and it consists of the Das Bobber, if I'm saying it correctly, which is the hat, the stovepipe hat with the red ring around it with the medic symbol and the red glasses that look a lot like the Tomb Readers. I think they might be exactly the same. And this is actually an eye cosmetic, so you can't equip it with goggles or anything, but you can equip it with other hats. It's really weird. It's like the Daz Hazmat Zine. Then we've got the Second Opinion, which is the face. It's got the little stitches up between the face, and the half of the face is really pale, and it's good, but it clips a lot. And then we have the Vicar's Vestments, which is kind of the medic's jacket, but it opens up into a button striped shirt with a cross necklace. And I really like this photo, but the recent price changes made me really mad because I bought it before the price dropped. And it's 2.2 keys with the Das Bobber at 6.44 ref, the Picar's Vestments at 4.66 ref, and the Second Opinion at 1.9 keys. And this is really weird because I think the Second Opinion's right, but I'm sure the Vicar's Vestments is way more. It's $10 to $15, and the Das Bobber should still be a key. So it's just the price is messed up, but I really like this, and it's and the Das Bobber is 6.44 ref, the Vicar's Vestments is 4.66 ref, and the Second Opinion is 1.9 keys. So yeah, this is a good set. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have the Lost King set, which is based on ancient Egyptian pharaohs, and I know the colors are kind of messed up on the hat, but it's SFM. So this has the Tutankhamun, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, which is an ancient Egyptian hat for the medic, but I mean, just get the Crown of the Old Kingdom. It's almost the same except for the little bit of detail in the color, which I think is painted, I'm not sure. And the upsides are, it's cheaper, it's all class, and it's non-Halloween restricted, and you can even get it on usual, so just don't get the hat, but it goes with the theme better, and it's Halloween, and it goes with the set. And then the Ramses Regalia is an ancient Egyptian coat. It's just got a top and some armbands and some things on the bottom of its coat, and I really like this coat. It's pretty good. And then I have Archimedes the Undying, but I really only put that because I just really like Archimedes the Undying, but it also works good with the Voodoo Cursed Medic Soul, whichever one that you choose to do. But I like this, and it comes in at 1.35 keys, with the Tutankhamun being 14 ref, the Ramses Regalia being 4.66 ref, and the Archimedes the Undying being 32 ref. So let's move on to the next set. Next up, we have the Vampire, Dracula, Nosferatu, whatever you want to call it. Actually, no, I wish this was Nosferatu. Come on, Valve. All you have to do is add the Nosferatu into the game. I'm begging you, please. The Nosferatu, please add into the game. It's not even, I just want to use it so bad. But anyway, this is a vampire set. It's based off of the Bram Stoker's Dracula set because the Nosferatu isn't in the game. Hopefully, it will get in soon because I really like that cosmetic. But this consists of the Vampire Makeover, which just adds a hair cosmetic for the medic, which I'm not a big fan of, but I mean, it's okay for the theme, and some pointed ears. The Vampiric Vesture, which I really like, it adds some bottom coat and cuffs, and it also adds a really good kind of opening to the coat. It's just a really good coat. And then we also have the Guano, which is a bat that just flaps alongside the medic. And yeah, this is 1.25 keys, with the Vampire Makeover being 3.55 ref, the Vampiric Vesture being 1.05 keys, which I remember that being a lot cheaper, and the Guano being 4.11 ref, which I also remember being a lot more expensive. But yeah, I do really like the set. It's a pretty good set. I say that about all of them because why would I put a bad set in the video? Yeah, but I just wish that I could make a Nosferatu one. So please, Valve, add that. I'd unbox crates. Yeah. But, yeah, let's move on to the next set. Next up we have the, Mad Doctor / Einstein set, just the Mad Doctor set. And this one's okay. It's not my favorite, and it's also an official Valve set. I didn't make it myself, but it's meant to go together. And the camera angle's a little weird because you have to get the backpack in. And sorry if the last few were a little bad on the mic. I had it on the wrong setting. Only a few, some of the Halloween ones. And in this one we have the Einstein, which is the hair piece, which is I really like. The Dr. Goggle Stash, which are the goggles and mustache, which I don't like this cosmetic. I think it's really ugly. But it goes with the theme. And then we have the Emerald Girardi, which adds some stuff to the medic's backpack, and I think it looks really good, but the problem is it doesn't work with the Quick Fix and Vaccinator, which makes it worse in my eyes. And this set comes at 3.22 ref, with the Dr. Goggle Stash being 1.22 ref, the Einstein being 1.22 to 1.33 ref, and the Emerald Girardi being 0.44 to 1 ref. And yeah, this set's okay. I mean, the goggles are okay, but the goggles just look ugly. The Emerald Girardi only works with certain metiguns. The hair is pretty good looking, but there's no coat, no pet. Honestly, this is one of my least favorite sets of the bunch, but if you like the theme, then I'd go with it. Next up, we have the Dove, or Archimedes, or Metamedes loadout. Just the Dove loadout. And this one is okay. And let's just start dissecting it. It's got the Metamedes, which is my least favorite, because all the bird hats really are supposed to look charming and funny, but this one just looks weird and creepy. I mean, it should look more like the head of Archimedes, but I think they were designing it to be more like the chick in Kiev, and it just ended up looking really weird and bad. So, I don't like this. And then we also... Oh, and also I got one from a Halloween trade-up that I wrote Hail Gabe on, so... And there's also the Archimedes, which I love. It's just such a great cosmetic. I just love the Archimedes. It's the dub. It's really good on the shoulder. Then we have the Das Fancy Pantson, which is the coat, and I love this coat. It's so great. This is just such a good-looking coat. And but it doesn't go as well with the theme, but it's a third one. And this is 4.62 keys, with the Metamedes being 4 to 5 keys. The Das Fancy Pantson at 1.22 to 1.33 ref, and the Archimedes being 3 to 3.11 ref. And this set, it's just okay, because I really like the coat and pet, but the hat is just weird, and I don't get why the chicken Kiev is a misc and the rest of the bird heads aren't, but honestly, I'm glad I got the hat for 3 cents, because I wouldn't want to pay 4 to 5 keys for it, but honestly, this is just okay. The coat doesn't go with the theme, but it's okay. Now, let's move on to the next set. Next up, in the last of the Halloween cosmetic sets, we have the Plague Doctor, and this consists of the Grim Hat, which is the black hat on top, the Blighted Beak, which is the white and brown, or all brown Plague Doctor beak mask on the mask, and the Quaff, which is the raven that flies by the side of the medic and flaps its wings, which is the only Halloween restricted thing in this set. And this set, I think, is pretty good looking. I wish it could have a coat, but there's no coats that would fit that well. But honestly, I think this is a pretty good looking one, but it has a stereotype of Grim Hat, Blighted Beak, pocket medics, so I honestly think this would be a much more used set if it wasn't for it being Halloween and the stereotypes. And this consists of the, this is 28.16 ref, with the Grim Hat being 1.33 to 1.44 ref, the Blighted Beak being 6.66 to 6.88 ref, and the Quaff being 20 ref. And honestly, I just wish there weren't stereotypes of this, because it does just look so good. It's just such a good cosmetic set, and it's a shame that's kind of ruined by stereotypes. I mean, you could use the Blighted Beak to kind of shave some of that off, and the Virus Doctor, but I don't think the look is good. And I wish the Quaff wasn't Halloween restricted, because honestly, if it wasn't, then people would use this with it instead of the Angel of Death. But I think that the theme's really good, because even though the Grim Hat is not a Plague Doctor hat, it looks really good as one. And I wish the Blighted Beak could be painted to be black, but it can't. It would look a lot better and without the Robo stuff of the Blighted Beak. And the Quaff is honestly just really good looking. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good set. So let's move on to the next one. Now, before we get into this next set, I can't stress enough about the SFM. The coat doesn't have the great posing bones, so I couldn't really get the arm to hook on right, and I couldn't change the arms, the coat's color to be red, which looks better in my opinion. And also the beard is black when it normally should be all white. But with that out of the way, let's get into this set. So this is the Santa Medic, which consists of the BMOC, which is an all-class Santa hat that stands for Big Man of Christmas, I think. And it's just a Santa hat. Then we have the Ruffled Ruprecht, if I'm pronouncing it right, which is just a white fluffy beard that works really well with it. And then we have the Medical Monarch, which is the coat. It can be worn in a white style with a red undershirt, or a red style with a white undershirt. I personally prefer the style with the red overcoat and the white undershirt, but do whatever you want. But it's also a winter themed. I don't really like the shirt and think this is the only thing it should ever be used in. But the beard and the hat are both really nice. So this is 5.17 keys, with the Ruffled Ruprecht being 1.66 to 1.77 ref, the BMOC being 4.75 to 5 keys, and the Medical Monarch being 9.11 to 9.22 ref. And this is our first winter Christmas set out of the two featured in this video. And yeah, I personally think this set is pretty good for winter. I personally like our next set, but I just prefer it. And I don't like the coat, but the other two are really good. So with that out of the way, let's move on to our next and last cosmetic set of the day. Now, with our last cosmetic set of the day, we have a winter one, and this is the Snow Trooper Medic. And I just want to get some things out of the way first. The hat and armor are posed really weird, because it's really hard to pose things in SFM just right. And I didn't want to spend too much time on it, because I don't have too much time. Well, I do have enough time, but I mean, it's really hard, and the bones are weird to link them, and it's just really hard, so please bear with me. And also the third cosmetic set isn't even on here because it's just really hard, and it just looks bad in SFM. So with that out of the way, let's get into this. I love this set. It just looks really good, and it's my go-to set for winter. And it consists of the Cold Front Commander, which is a helmet with goggles and a face mask, which is based off the Star Wars Snowtroopers, I think. And it just looks really good. We have the Cold Front Carapace, which is armor to go with the hat. I don't think it looks as good as the hat, because it's just not as noticeable, but it's still really nice. And next, I either use the Surgeon sidearms, which is a pocket with some medic tools in it, which is covered up by the armor, and it also has a armband that goes around, which is what you see, or the Mechamedes, which is Archimedes the dove, except it's a robot. So this load is 1.66 keys, with the Cold Front Commander being .94, doing 94 cents on the Steam market, and the Cold Front Carapace being $2.86 on the Steam marketplace. Okay, that's all it tells me in backpack.tf calculator, so I'm just going with that. And the Surgeon sidearms is 3 ref, and the Mechamedes is 4.66 to 4.88 ref, and it brings it to 1.71 keys. So yeah, this is a really nice themed winter loadout, and I personally think it looks really good. And this is what I use this is what I'm gonna use every winter. I've used it I've been using it a lot this winter. I've used it this winter, and unless some new stuff comes out, I'm gonna keep using it for the winters to come. And I just picked this up the day it came out. It's so good. It's one of my favorite things to be added in the new update, and I just love this set. So let's end off the video, but we're done with the sets. Well, this is the conclusion of the video, the first video of my TF2 Fashion Show series, which is just going to show off item sets. If I'm going to continue this, I'm going to do the Scout next, and I've already planned the Scout episodes set, so I hope I continue with it. And I'm really trying to mess with my channel and really trying to improve it right now. So I've been switching through intros like crazy, and I think I'm gonna stick with the intro and outro in this video. And I'm also trying to get my voice quality better by messing with it a little in some external programs. And I'm just really trying to improve my channel and switch over to Team Fortress 2 videos. And I know a lot of videos have been on hats recently, but I mean, everything in the game's already been talked about, and I've just trying to think of a series that I could fit weapons into, because I really like talking about the items. And yeah, I'm just really trying to improve the channel right now, and I know this video's been kind of long, and I just really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much if you've stuck around till this part of the video and listened to me talk about item sets for 50 minutes, but it just really means a lot to me. And well, I know I don't get a lot of views and I don't have many subscribers, but I just really enjoy making videos, and I do it mostly for fun. Yeah, I might do some things other than TF2, because other than TF2 I play a lot of Trove. I've made some videos about that in the past. And I might bring back some of my old meme videos. I might make them public again. And I used to do a lot of Skyrim and Fallout 4 videos, and I might redo some of those, remaster them, because they were not very good, but I'm thinking of maybe bringing those back. And I hope to continue this series and continue the Top Hat series. And yeah, just like the video if you want to see or comment if you want to see the Scout version. But I'm not going to beg for likes and subscribers, because I don't really care, but just tell me by either liking or commenting if you want this series to continue. Yeah, just thanks for everyone who stuck around and watched all of this. And yeah, I'm probably repeating myself here, but I really wanted to talk about this. So I guess we should roll the new outro. Yeah.